Greetings, world. And I'm Jack, and welcome back to the Windmill Warcraft. And it's been a long time since we've had an encounter with our heart with Sir Hulshult. And this is an encounter with Sir Hulshult that is neither dusk nor doom, which is what we've done before. Hey, from dusk till doom. But instead, it's from Quake champions. And I think we can agree that Mick Gordon, David Levy, and Andrew Hulshult are all Quake champions. Because they're rather championing at quaking. They make quaky noises that quake the earth. You know, when you have an earthquake, the earth can sometimes crack. Which basically means they're crack champions. And I don't want to think what that means. So, Quake Champions is another game, and there's a big guy with an armor and a gun on screen. And it's by Andrew Hulshult, which means it's probably going to be unnecessarily and undecently heavy, which means I very much want myself some of that. So are we ready? No. Yes. Hey, that's my job. Not anymore. Let's do words. I can't say this is my favorite soundtrack we checked out so far. It's really cool. But especially with the image, I was expecting a lot bigger riffs. Okay, so maybe the production isn't bringing the riffs forward that much, but I actually felt it's pretty big on riffs. And from Hulshult stuff, it's probably one of my favorites because it's got more variety than his style usually brings. That definitely. He still has this way of keeping everything in the same pace and in the same vein all the time, but with all of these different changes every time, a new riff every time. Lots of new riffs. Everything changes by staying the same. Yes. Everything. That should actually be a motto of Hulshult style. Everything changes by staying the same. I actually stole it from Irreversible Mechanism lyrics. Okay. But I'm loving this so far, and I'm loving what the percussions are doing, especially. The drumming is insanely good. Yes? Yes. Oh, now we're talking! That was a sudden ending. Okay, the second part really amped up the riffage and the chuggage and the speakage and the progressage. The chuggy and the genty and the what? The riffage and the chuggage and the speakage and the progressage. Chuggage. Chuggage. Okay, chuggage. I get it. Chuggage is a word. Yes. Okay, so probably the riffs where he kind of stops grooving are the ones that fall flat a bit for me. Yeah, but otherwise when he's grooving, it doesn't fall flat for me because it's grooving. Grooving isn't flat. Yes. And I gotta say, if you look at the character on screen, his face looks like it's listening to a smelly riff. I mean, the average gamer, who's probably some tiny kid like us with twigs for arms. You know, you start playing a soundtrack act like this and it's like that golden armor grows on you. That's what it feels like. It's like, okay, then I was a twig-armed kid, now I played the thing and now I'm a god. Except you're a god on screen. Yes. And in real life, you're not even a twig-armed kid anymore. Now you're just a twig. Because, you know, the more you sit down at the computer, the more you get skinny and useless. Or fat, for that matter. Yes, especially if you have too much twigs, which we obviously did since it's empty. You gotta cut it with the twigs. Little privacy. You don't need to know what we do in our intimate time. Like having twigs. Yes, twigs is private. Yes. Twigs is love. Twigs is love. We're gonna go. So if you enjoyed this reaction, we really appreciate the likes and shares. And if you want more, don't forget to subscribe with bells. Thank you very much for stopping by. We hope you enjoyed your stay and we'd love to see you back at the Windmill very soon. Of course, yeah.